We're live.
No, I do have a YouTube tab open. What's up, people? What's up, M? I do have a YouTube open up, but it's just my homepage. Nothing's clicked on. You still hearing it? Everybody keeps saying that, but I'm not. I never hear it.
I was hearing it when Sal was talking earlier.
Is it mine?
Not
Got my
now.
head. I got my headphones on and I got my mic on, so there shouldn't be anything. But now I hear it.
Oh, is that right?
I don't know if it's feedback to your microphone or what.
Is it my fish tanks again?
No, I think it's
No,
Sal.
it's like every time I talk, right? Yeah, it's doing it now again.
Fan
me try it.
farewell.
Let me try something right quick.
Pretty good, M. Just a little tired.
You want to do an hour tonight, or you gonna go for two?
We'll see. I wouldn't mind getting to bed. Got the keys. We took the hood and front fenders off my truck this morning. Finally found that freaking leak.
Yeah.
Emily's saying it's the fish tanks.
No, because
All right.
when Sal.
Just kidding.
I just plugged and unplugged my mic. Sometimes that helps.
I think it did.
Great.
Yeah, but your fish tanks are making me want to take a deep.
There he is. I was just getting ready to tell Simon and Sal that I finally got around to sending NBL email, and he replied back to it. We've just been busy with family stuff.
Yeah, he showed up on Friday.
Is that right?
Yeah. I went live on Friday because Dev didn't go live. So I was looking at 2 hours and he showed up. What's up,
What's up, NBL?
And NBL saw me on live, so he's like, I need to jump on there.
your biggest fan over here.
Yeah. Not conceited, are we?
Wait a minute.
A little bit. What's up, Moose?
Just a little bit of ego won't hurt anybody.
So, Mr. Rockstar, see, you got the put a community post up, thanking everybody for going back and checking out your other old videos.
Yeah.
I happened to see on my home feed, a video of yours popped up with that metal ring to create a snake net
Yeah.
for a Weber
Yeah.
kettle. 24,000 views.
I was telling Annie that I was very hesitant to upload because I've been working on that video for so long, and it was a lot of work because I kept postponing it and taking stuff off and adding things in. It was very the fact that I didn't really have time to work on it made it even a little bit more stressful. And when I posted that, I was like, oh man, I haven't posted it in such a long time, and it's gonna bomb, and still unsure about it. There's so much other things that I wanted to do with it. I was really debating about pushing it out there, and it was like an hour in, it got like 200 views, and that never happens on my channel. And then it just kept going until Annie was like out of all my videos, I spend so much time like with these like cooking recipes and really work hard at those, and it comes down to a review video, which I told you, Lance, I hate doing review videos.
Right.
I really do not like it, and here it is. It's just on a steady incline. And then I think by the end of the day, it was at like maybe like 4,000 or 5,000 views or something, which is never happens. This is I get those like 4,000 views in like maybe a year if I'm lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. This thing has been up for like 8 hours and it's up at 4,000 views. And overnight it just kept going and going and going and going. And the comments were just rolling in, and I was like, how am I gonna even reply to these comments? There was like a lot of them.
Right.
But it felt nice just because I got that first dose of people that I know, that always comment on videos. So you get that first batch, and I love those people to death. Like NBL commented on it, so it's just like that initial wave, and then all of a sudden it's just like new faces. Like I've just average people that barbecue.
Yeah.
Some of them were very critical of the device. Some of them were very supportive. So there was like a lot of questions. There was like a lot going on with that. So it felt. I mean, I appreciate the fact that it got so many views that first weekend. But I was like, oh, dude, is this really the outcome of my videos? I just have to stop making these recipe videos, and that's what people want from me. It's just reviews, just different things. So I just started, kind of thinking about that, and I'm not going to do that just because I don't like them. I don't enjoy them, and I've been turning away a lot of companies. They want me to review, different things, and I just kept saying no because I don't have the time, and I don't want to do it. But this one stood out just because it was American made, and my top video right now is like a charcoal steak video. So it fit the type of viewers that I'm getting, and it works really well. So I was like, this is a good product. American made. It fits my view. It works really good for me. So I'm gonna make that video. And sure enough,
you've always been a pro snake method.
Yeah.
I really have not. I mean, I just bank up the coals and let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never really been the person to sit there and line them up and everything. But
yeah, Tom on his podcast, he was talking about that. He was like, no one does that. No one likes to stack up their charcoal. Why do you do that? And it's just, I think it's like he pointed out, it's a passion. It's the passion of loving what you're doing, right? Because, I mean, why else do we do this stuff, right? Like, why else do we mess around with our grills and figure out that perfect charcoal and perfect times? It's just, there has to be a little bit of passion in there. We're not just your average guys that just want to get dinner on the table. Although there are nights that way, I just want to just grill something quick and then bring it in and that's it, but there's no other explanation of like just our fascination with all these types of cookers and all these grills and all these different meats. It's a unique thing.
Yeah. No, I broke away from the camera thing last weekend, but it was Father's Day weekend or something. I hung couple racks of ribs, and I had full intentions of that being another one of these, can you eat ribs without being smothered in sauce so that they're, healthier for you? And I'm back to, my preferred method of cooking ribs, which is hanging ribs. But I didn't do the sauce them up everything. I don't know, man. I'm just back in my slump again. It seems like my magic number for my videos is 50, might get 75 views, and it's just so discouraging anymore that I'm like, that's not enough money to start the car up. 42 cents. Wow.
Yeah.
If I go start the car off, I better turn it off quick. I'm gonna lose on that 42.
Yeah. No. I get it. I don't think that feeling ever ends though. Really, I've talked.
No, but I mean,
I've talked to big YouTubers, and they all, get the number that I was so proud of, the 4,000 views that first day. Some people make that within 2 hours, and they're still not happy. It's like, no, I should be getting 12,000. That's my average, and it's just like people are never happy,
Oh yeah, well, big channels like that, man. I don't know if they take a look at their numbers like that, but there's a few that I know, big channels, but have of commented before saying that this video didn't do anything, or it
Yeah.
only did like 10,000 video or 2,000 views. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all, and I think that feeling never ends, because you always feel that your video should just get so much more. Because I think it's all the work we put in, right?
Well, I think it's for me. It's just that I can't explain. I mean, unless I'm just not seeing that, I'm going in the opposite direction. But I mean, for me, my average was, I'd break 100 on every video, on long form video.
Mhm.
I
Well,
never.
my view, yeah. So my views are also down. I used to consistently get like 600 or 700 views that first day was like my average. And if you look at previous to this video, they're all low. They're all at they get maybe 100 or 200 that first day, and eventually they get up to like 400 or 500.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much. I think a lot of these channels are experiencing similar things.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near it. I mean, it's like I say, it's actually,
Yeah.
it's not only discouraging, it's disgusting because it's like,
Yeah.
wow, am I bombing that bad to where I need to stop embarrassing myself,
Yeah.
Here's my last one, 47, 48, 51, 75, 75, 70, 33, 73. Now I did get rotisserie hit 160.
Yeah.
But I mean 38. I mean, come on. I mean, what I find a little bit odd is that the numbers are just so close together. 75, 75,
Yeah. It's almost like, and I noticed on this, it's almost like YouTube decides like what the cap is, right?
Right.
Like this person can't get more than these amount of views, no matter what.
Right.
At least that's what it feels like. Like sometimes I'm like, this video is really, it's really good. The recipe's there, the title's there, like everything is good about it, and it'll get the same amount of views as something that I don't feel as strong about.
Yeah.
And I think they almost like, it's weird because they deny that. They deny that they cap views because it's, if you really think about it, it's not in their best interest to do that. They just want to feed your videos to as many people as possible so they could make money off of your video. So it doesn't make sense that they would limit you to a certain amount of views because sure, but it's I guess it's hard to explain, without
I guess
driving yourself crazy.
I guess what I'll say to that, and I could be way off, but I'm just, in my opinion, maybe things overall are just down for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their way of, and this has always been my opinion. I've been sent out of state for management training and stuff before, and I've taken small business administration courses before, and it's always sort of kind of been the same thing. You gotta, to make it crude, you gotta stop the bleeding. And this is their way of doing that. Putting a thumb on people.
Yeah.
So they control. I get what you're saying. They get more money, by the views that are going up, but maybe they're not making those views. Things are down for them, so they got to control. So if let's just say if I had a video hit 24,000, Sal, jeez.
How'd he die?
And again, and just so that people in the chat, 20,000 views is again, that's the highest I've ever done on a single weekend on any of my videos, but it took me 6 years to do that, of just pushing out good content and just getting better and just knowing what works, what doesn't work. So it's like 6 years of that. You know what I mean? So it's and still the next video that I push out, it'll get 100 views, like my average video. I could already see that. You know, the next video I'm working on, it's like there's no way this thing's gonna get 20,000 views, but it's still, you know, it's maybe the next time something blows up, it'll get 50,000 views. You know,
Yeah.
another 4 or 5 years. You know, for all
So
I know.
that's truly not even viral, but that's pretty damn good, Sal. I saw that and I was like, wow, you know, 24 grand. I was trying to remember the number. Guggen put that that Walmart Tomahawk, I think it was.
Yeah.
cookout. And I can't remember what it was. I think it was up in the 20-some thousands
Yeah.
for that cook. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, you know.
Yeah,
But you know,
was-
when I saw that though, Sal, of you, I said, you know what? He's always been tried and true with the snake method, and it's paid
I'm-
off. for him.
I'm glad it was that video and not something like a product that I didn't like or didn't fit my channel. You know, because I'm turning down these deals. You know, the most recent one, it was like this streaming service or something. It's like how the hell does it have to do it with my barbecue? It makes no sense. You know,
I'm getting all this stupid shit because I'm pushing eating healthier. You know, I'm getting this fat diet pills, and no, I'm not interested in this stuff. You know,
Yeah.
but I get what you said, and you and I have had this conversation before, as far as you're not really wanting to be a reviewer.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like you've been bought and paid for, and I get that. I do
Yeah.
get that.
I said it. I was that day, that Friday where this video was released. I was feeling, not to get into detail, but I was really going through some personal shit, you know. And I had my mind was just like cluttered with a lot of stuff, and I sat there and I was a little bit angry, you know, like legit. I was like, why am I like, what these review videos? Why are they so successful? Like, I don't want to promote somebody else's product. I want to like have my own product. And for that, I want to let people know that, hey, this thing is good. Use it. You know what I mean? Like that's the stage that I kind of want to be in. You know, where if I am promoting something, it's something mine. You know, whatever that is, because I don't know what I would even come up with. Because these companies, you know, except for this one, because this one is just, you know, guy's super nice. He's retired. So he has a lot of time in his hands now, and he wants to push out this product. It's American made. It's you know, I'm talking about and I specifically told him this. You know, I'm against these like huge companies, you know, overseas that are just, you know, just giving you a couple bucks to promote this product that not all of them are bad. But you're making them richer essentially.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it right there. It's only like $45, so it's not that bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So 22
Barbecue is down in general. Yeah, I didn't even see that comment that Ricer made. I saw a latter comment, but yeah, it's one of those things again, Jeff. I mean, I've talked to you. I've cried on his shoulder before. It's like, you know, I just don't get it. You know, I
think now the views are down because too many people, you know, first of all, a lot of people have cookers now. And there's this idea that you start up a channel, you're going to start, you know, rolling in money, because there's a lot of cooking channels, barbecue channels that are making a lot of money. You know, they're getting those cool sponsorships, and I think a lot of people are getting into it. And I see, you know, hundreds of new channels pop up on my main page, and the quality.
You got Marines now think they can grill.
And then the quality of it is really top notch. You know, like they got it figured out. You know, you could The phone camera, I've said it before on here, they're so good now where it's hard to like make your footage look bad. You know,
Yeah.
we're at that stage. So everybody has a professional camera now. Everybody, has AI to edit their videos. Everybody has, a lot of time.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm sure a lot of people are unemployed. So all those things, there's a lot of channels out there pushing content. So now it's, SJ Cooks is competing amongst 100 up and coming channels that their stuff just looks just as good as mine, and they could produce it faster. 3 videos a week, so they got that advantage. So it's a constant kind of battle.
Yeah.
Um,
And that sort of kind of brings in another subject too, because I'm just, I'm not a computer person, and and my problem is that, I can do stuff. I'm sure if I put my mind to it and screwed up enough things, I could probably get into some AI assisted help, but I just don't have the desire. I don't. I mean, does that sound? I don't want to say like make it sound like I'm lazy or anything. But I just, I'm just. I guess it's just because I'm stupid old school. I want to be judged by what's on the frickin' plate, not
yes.
what something has generated and has. And I'm not. And anybody that's in the chat that does use AI or anything to generate, stuff. I'm not talking about you. I'm not bashing on you by what I'm saying. It's just that I believe that I want to be judged by what's on the plate,
Yeah.
and it's hard for the minority. I'll call it. Me being the minority of wanting to be judged by this one plate and not something that AI has generated. It's
Yeah.
harder and harder and harder to compete to the ones that are doing that. And I'll be the first one to admit, I just watched Eddie's video. I think it was yesterday. And it's like, that's who I was making a crack about earlier. Even Marines are out there growing now, but thinking that maybe he's in the background, going to leave a smart ass remark for me. But he did a little bit of AI work with his grilling and all that. And his thumbnails look good. I'm not knocking them. They look good as shit.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to get into this discussion, I guess I got feelings about this whole AI thing, but I'm very, hesitant about, because it always feels like I'm singling somebody out, or I'm offending a group of people, or like I'm specifically talking about someone. But the way I feel about the AI thing is, and this I process in my mind. The best analogy I could come up with is me hiring a fitness trainer and have them do all the exercises, right? Tell them what to bench, how many miles to run, when it's leg day, and then be going home or at work and telling everybody at work that I went to the gym every day.
Yeah. Right.
That's what AI is. AI is the fitness trainer that you tell them to do everything.
Right.
Now there's a way to use a fitness trainer correctly, which is I haven't lost a single pound in a month, and I do this and that. What could I do to continue shedding off the pounds? And that's where you use a physical trainer. We're like, okay, do these exercises, eat this, hit the cardio, 30 minutes instead of 15. Try that for a month. And that's what we should use AI for. I'm really having trouble come up with a good thumbnail idea. Tell me how to design one, or give me ideas of how I should make my business. And I'm not telling. It's very different telling AI give me ideas versus generate a brisket on the table with a neutral background with studio lighting, and put the words "the best brisket in the entire world" on there, and then downloading it, and then just putting that off into the world. It's very different, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about the AI. Is and I'm not getting better. If I do it that way, I'm not getting better at taking a good food photo. But honestly, it's holding me down, right? Because I'm relying on this thing to create a brisket video. And what are my viewers going to feel like where that brisket doesn't look anything like the brisket I just cooked?
But do they care? I mean, do they care?
I probably not, because if the last time we had this discussion was probably the McDonald's photo not matching the burger on our plate, and McDonald's is making billions of dollars, so some people care, but the majority don't, because otherwise McDonald's and all these chain restaurants would go down for false advertising. But I feel I want that audience that does care, you know, that can tell the difference, you know, that they're not going to feel like, you know, like cheated, you know, like they click on a video, because we all feel cheated, right? We all look at a product review, and then we stop as soon as we hear that AI voice, we stop the video. I think all of us have gone through that.
I'm very guilty of that.
So I think if we do enough of that, I think people are going to be looking at an image. It's like, this is clearly AI generated. I'm not going to waste my time. That hasn't happened yet. Will it ever happen? I don't know. It all really depends on what YouTube does. But I think the most important thing is to develop those skills. And I'm not just talking about thumbnails. I'm talking about filming. When AI editing is here, we also have to realize, like, you know, what cheap editing looks like, and learn those skills, so that we could tell AI to create a thumbnail, but we know what's wrong with it or what looks weird about it, and tell it to fix it. But if we don't have those design skills, we're just putting a lot of slop out there. And there's a reason why they call it AI slop, right?
Yeah.
Because it's stuff that you know it's just trash. But to the trained eye, they see it like, this is like, what are we doing here? Like, this looks like garbage. But after I say all of that, I think I don't want to rag on AI too much, because it all comes down to having fun. So if you find it's giving you success, and if you find that it's useful and it's making you want to cook more and making you want to make more videos, then keep using it. You know, don't let me determine, try to like make you feel bad about it. Don't keep doing it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're getting like just a lot of traction. Don't stop whatever you're doing. Keep doing it.
I always use Ricer, and actually yourself, Sal, because I do. I'm sorry if I hurt somebody's feelings, but I think that I see both of y'all sort of kind of being, a upper echelon level of that quality of video. I mean, I remember Ricer when he was doing his lives and all that, an amount of equipment and money and effort that he put into his videos. And you're the same way, Sal. I mean, you won't turn out a video unless it's like, you're 100%, well, I shouldn't say that, 90% happy with it or 95% happy with it. But what happened to that? I mean, that's the part that I can't, what happened to that? It's like going on a diet now, and nowadays, when I'm understanding, people are taking injections, and they're giving themselves injections in the belly to lose weight. What happened to the effort?
Yeah,
to do anything.
That is another great example, and I think just society as a whole is like that, right? Where it's just it comes down to people not wanting to watch long form. They want that quick, short content, because they don't got time for a 20-minute explaining them how to smoke a brisket video, but they got 30 seconds for a half-ass explanation. And maybe they think that that's, I don't know how many people are I don't know if our audience, the ones that are like really into barbecue, are watching those 30-second brisket videos. And if they are, I don't think they're learning anything from it. I don't know. It's just that people want the quick way of doing things.
Well, it's odd because boat races are in season, and I've been catching up on a lot of boat races lately. And there was a guy that actually, they basically have been filming like they're, prepping the tuning of the boat motors and everything, and being craned into the water if it's that type of a launch. Some of them they don't do that. They actually just trailer launch them. But this guy was talking about this, and this is his first video of an event. So he would start taking clips and pictures of different things other than just their team getting this boat ready, And one of the comments, this is the first video that this man put out. And I got to tell you, it was a good video, but it was Dirty Money. It was the boat for Dirty Money. And he was talking about how he spent some time learning how to do this video thing. And he was saying that one of the things that kept being driven in his head from TikTok, Instagram, whatever, is that you got to make it as short as you can. Mm-hmm. And he was so against that. And I got to tell you, man, the guy's video was really good. It was really well put together. But it just plays off what you're saying. I mean, and that, I don't know. I'll just beat a dead horse. I just think that's sad. It's like,
and there's things that I don't. I've said it before. I don't like filming, right? So if the moment I could offset that, give that duty to somebody else to film my stuff, I would be happy, And I guess that is the goal, is to make enough money on my channel where I can hire somebody. So that's like the thing that I want. I want to not worry about that anymore. But I will say that if you let, if you take the easy way, AI to just generate the script for you, generate the thumbnail, generate, the actual video, because you could generate full-on video stuff. If you could generate everything about it, then why are you even a cookie content creator? Like what you don't like any part of the process? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I would imagine you want, the reason you got into it is to like kind of give your voice, kind of give your method, your technique, the way you do it, because that's really the only thing that's going to make you stand out, because for us, we know how to cook a brisket, right? But if there's a up and comer coming in there, I was like, oh, this guy sounds interesting. I want to see how he makes his brisket.
Yeah. Or sharing Timmy's family cheese bread recipe. But we're at the exact same thing, thinking the same thing. But and Tom hit something on the head here too. I so believe this. This is just a spinoff. It's a commercial for the video.
Yeah.
If you like this commercial, go watch the video.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so true,
Yeah.
That is so true.
But there's so many people making money making short content that they don't have a full-length video explaining. They just have that snippet. And I've tried it so many times ever since shorts became popular. I tried that, where I would take a full long, the 6-minute cook, and I would make a 60-second short, and I would link it to the full length, and I got no traction, because people, they want to watch the short thing and that's it. They're over it. And the moment you understand that the people watching short form are, they're waiting for their they're at a doctor's office and they're waiting for their appointment, so they're just scrolling, or they're grocery shopping and they're just there. You know what I mean? Or they're parked somewhere and they're just, waiting for somebody, the kids to get off of school and they're just like scrolling.
Right.
They're not in the, I want to learn how to do this mode, and I think that's really the only reason why long form is going to survive, because there's always a need for that. There's always you take a very complicated subject and there's always somebody that wants to learn how to do that, and they will take the time to go home, sit down, watch a 20-30 minute video on this one thing, but that, I think they're just different audiences. And I think all the experts kind of tell you that is don't try to, don't think that you making a ton of shorts and, gaining 100,000 subscribers, that the moment you release a long form, that all those 100,000 subscribers are going to watch your 6 or 8 minute video. They're not.
Right.
It's a different audience.
I'll go back to Todd real quick, and I'm not singling anybody out, Todd. Maybe that was a bad, or Todd rather, maybe that was a bad example, but because the reason why I'm saying that, I didn't even know it's going to save somebody's life, but I'm just learning about this. And, I'm like, what happened to, like we talked about a few minutes ago, hit the gym, or like Todd even did in his videos, how he's, and there are other people doing their videos, clean things up. So I didn't mean to call people take injections in their stomach are bad people. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
I just use that as a shortcut. Instead of AI, like I said, the AI thing with the thumbnails and generated videos.
Yeah, I think I can help you clarify that, because I think it goes the same thing with those GLP, those medications, right? Where its initial intent, and you could talk to any doctor, they would tell you the initial intent for that type of medicine was people who were really obese, like really needed that help.
Right.
They tried everything. They're bedridden in some cases. Like they need that. For them, it was always intended for those people. It wasn't intended for the 30-year-old, I want to lose 5 pounds for the summer. And that's where it gets dangerous, because those are the people that are taking it.
Right.
It's unnecessarily, somebody like me could really, if I want to lose, 10 pounds, I could take this injection, which is super easy. Very widely available. You just got to tell the doctor to get it. Or I could do the hard route of coming, getting a gym membership, eating correctly every day, and in the span of a year, let's see how much weight I could lose and how fit I could become doing that. And those GLP medications are not for somebody like me, But unfortunately, for every Sal that says that, there's 100 Sals are like, no, I'm just gonna lose a couple of pounds. I'll just take the easy way. Why do that extra work?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not, again, trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It was probably just a bad example, but what I'm just trying to say is just, whatever happened to the efforts, and I never even thought about anybody, because I found out, two family members, husband and wife, are doing this stomach injection thing. And I'm like, you're doing what?
Yeah.
And it's really in vain. Instead of, like Todd had said earlier, an emergency health type thing, to help somebody that that need that boost. I happen to know this is to me, it just seems to be in vain, and I just think that's sort of kind of weird. But it's I keep saying this stuff, and
And there's always a version of this, right? There was a point of time, what, the 70s and 80s, when weightlifters, they wanted to bulk up, and they found steroids. You know what I mean? It's always been the thing. There's always been people wanting to take shortcuts to achieve what they want. But it's always dangerous because we don't know the result. We don't know what the long-term causes is.
Yeah.
And so we just have to be very careful.
I had
somebody like Todd there. He says he tried everything. That medicine was for you. That it helped you, and it's intended for you. But we're not really talking about because medicine used by those people that really need it is completely fine.
Right.
But I think it's when people don't need it and still use it, then that's where the problem is.
Yeah. I had a supervisor. He basically said the same thing. He did all that stuff, the diets and the exercise and everything but he ended up going to that method because I thought that you had to be approved for like the tummy shrinkage thing or something when they go in there and shrink your stomach down in the size. I thought you had to be approved for that, but he ended up doing it. I never thought that that he was really like obese, in my opinion, but I lose weight just by moving around and portion control how much I eat. My doctor said that it is the best way to do it. I mean, I sort of kind of skipped over what Tom had said a minute ago because I'm trying to smooth things out with Todd. I'm not trying to make Todd mad at me. I knew he went through his journey.
I don't think he's mad. It's just he feels strongly about it because I'm sure he had health issues, and he got them resolved. So I don't think
that's spot on what CB just said.
And hopefully I don't come off strong either if there are any content creators using AI. I don't want them to feel bad either, but you have to, I really think you have to learn good design, good cooking, good photography, good videography, good editing. You have to learn those things before entrusting AI to do it. Just like, my stupid analogy with the fitness trainer of having him do all the work, there's a good use of AI, For me, I'm not going to say that I've never used AI. The thing that I used it for was the stupid descriptions because I hated writing those descriptions out. Those things are so freaking annoying, because it's like you needed to be like keyword friendly and all this stuff, and it was just like it was a nightmare for me. And it's usually at the end, right? Like once you upload the video, it's like shit. Now I have to come up with a description. It is a very annoying thing. But even so, when I started doing it for that, it just started sounding very generic. Like it was like, I don't talk like that. This is stupid.
Yeah.
So I came to a point where I'm just starting to leave the descriptions off. And that video that that I uploaded that got 20,000 views it was all me.
24,000. Don't cut yourself short.
I didn't tell AI to create titles. I didn't tell AI to create my description. I didn't tell AI to create the script. I didn't tell AI to edit it. I didn't tell AI to make the thumbnail. That was 100% me. So it felt good.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that right there, that's a toot. I'd be all about that. I mean, my mom said something to me, decades ago. She said, you respect things more that you earned. That you went out and you saved money for, you put the money away, you saved it so that you could buy that item. You respect that more than if someone was just to come up and give it to you. And I
or pay you, right? Or pay you.
I so believe that's the truth. Not because my mom said so, but I think
again, and it seems like we're bashing, right? Because now it seems like, anybody who does these like sponsored videos or get paid or to review a video, it's no, they're not all sellouts. Because
Hell no, get
you
your
know,
money, man.
yeah, because it as long as you do it right. Because and I remember this, Joe said this as I was just, it's, that my first couple of months, I remember Joe specifically saying this is, if a product doesn't work, don't put it on your channel, because that's literally all you have, is your word, that's, no one knows who you are. And if you were to say a product is good and enough people buy it and it's absolute trash, you just ruin your name, and it's like, and that stuck with me, and it's like, if a product is not good, I will not post it on my channel. And I told this to this well, I tell them to all my sponsors. I say, I'll agree to do this, but if the product doesn't work, I'm not going to put it. I'm sorry. Whether you pay me or you don't pay me, like, here's the product back, here's the money back. I'm not going to post it on.
Right.
I can't say it's good. And there's been a couple of, usually those, overseas companies they try to like sneak one by you. It's like, well, I didn't like this. Can you like change this or remove it? I was like, no, that's what the video is. I cannot take that back. That's what I experienced.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I always try to leave it up in the air. Like, it could have been a mistake I did. So I always leave like, hey, I had problems with this. Sometimes I'll even come up with a solution of, like, I might try this next, or make sure you do this, so you don't have those same issues. But for the most part, if something is problematic, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, this works great. Right.
Yeah.
Click my link.
Yeah, click my link. I get 40% for every sale on that.
Well, and there's I remember one of the guys that he actually put out, in his opinion, was an honest review. And then the company came back to him and was like, oh man, you got to take that down. You got to redact that.
Yeah.
You can't have that type of content there. And he refused to do so.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I mean, if I'm going to listen to Salvador tell me about a product and tell me that it's good, I'm going to go spend my money on that item. But if I go spend my money on that item and it's in the trash can by the next weekend, I'm going to be pissed off at Salvador.
Yeah.
And
you have enough people of that where it'll ruin you.
Right.
It's just, people won't trust you, and that's the one thing. It's like, people have to trust what you say.
What the other thing too is it probably is going to filter the amount of people that you get wanting you to do reviews for them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, oh hell,
Yeah.
this guy's going to lay it on the line and he's going to give his honest opinion, But and
so
I should say, so there's a possibility that maybe Sal could make a mistake, but I'm pretty sure that if he's going to lay it on a line like that, he sort of kind of knows why he doesn't like it, or at least explain, I don't like it because of this. You may like it,
and then
this is a joke,
Yeah, and then the other thing too that I spotted, again, I just hate bringing this stuff up because always there's somebody going to be out there that's going to take offense to it. But the one, keeping it very generic, I think that like a pet peeve of mine is people reviewing something where they only use it for that thing and then that's it, and there's no like okay, well, I mean, I would hope that a grill, or whatever the product is, would work on the first try. That's like the bare minimum, But what happens after you use it a couple of times, or you cook that item a second time? Did it work? What's after a year? How long do these things last? And obviously, we can't, make long-term commitments to say, hey, this thing is good for like 50 years, because I haven't had that product for 50 years. but it's always important to kind of give it its rounds, I feel. And that's what I did with that product. That's why it took me so damn long. I did did a lot of cooks on it, and 5 months later, here we are, to kind of talk about it. And I know a lot of products you can't do that with. If something is just released, it's all about getting that video out as quickly as possible for people to see.
Right.
But I think in the case that you can do it, you probably should do it. Give it if it's a grill, give it a few cooks. Try different things, see what works, what doesn't. This way, it's a better review, I would think, right? Or it gives you more of a chance to find what's wrong with it.
I just click on the link and it's $45.99 with free shipping.
Yeah, and it's all U.S. Again, I don't want to sell more of these, but I will say that this brings into another rant. I've had people comment on my SNS grill videos about knocking the fact that it's made overseas, right? Oh, it's a Chinese product, this and that. And we've all seen those types of comments. But the one time that we push out like American-made product, it's like, oh, it's too expensive.
Right.
The very first thing people say, it's too expensive for what it is. Here, I'm going to make it. And even this charcoal ring, people are already on the comment section saying, I'll just make this out of aluminum foil. It's the same thing. It's like, well, you can. I guess you suppose you can't do that. Same thing happened with the Vortex, American-made product. We're like, no, this is a stupid product. I'm not going to pay $50 for that. I'll make my own. I'll take a dog bowl, cut the middle of it, and there's my Vortex. People did this with the Slow and Sear. Oh, American-made product, that thing is too expensive. $150 for a charcoal basket. I'll just make my own. So people pieced together 2 charcoal basket and called it done. So I guess my point is that, are we into American-made products and want to support, or are we not and want the cheap way? Because you can't have it both ways, right? You can't have an American-made product that's super cheap, and you can have, and I guess that's my point. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? Like, it's either you're into American-made products or you're not.
Right. No, I agree. But one thing I will add to that about you saying in the beginning, now you just don't really want to be a review channel, and I started talking about this a while ago, and got off track, but I totally get what you're talking about. So yeah, I kept clicking that because Kent had made that bro and sear.
Mm-hmm.
But I totally get that you don't want to be, a review, type channel, but I also think that, and I've said this to you before, that you need to, I think that's one of your strong suits. You came in there with a video one day, and you was like, you were sitting into this chair, and it's like you were looking into the camera, and you had my full undivided attention. And it just, some people have got that way about them where they can explain something, dumb it down, if you will, but I think you've got that thing. So, you saying you don't want to become a review channel, that might be a niche for you. I don't know. But I mean, I get it also that, and sorry, Ricer, I don't want 500 grills. I don't want 15 grills.
Yeah.
Put that type, and I'm not knocking on you, Ricer, but I mean, that's the kind of reviews that I wouldn't want to do. But something periodically that, because I said it earlier, I really think that it's so fitting for you because you, over any other channel I've ever watched, has been a person that has pushed the snake method. And as we said earlier, I'm just a pilot, bank it to one side and be done with it. But you have honestly been, an avid for that snake method. But you probably do, right, sir?
Yeah, it again. Every time I say stuff like that, I know somebody's going to take offense, and I don't just keep doing what works.
Yeah.
I've hopefully one of the comments that came up is, and we had really good discussion in the comment section, which was their idea was we shouldn't push a product for somebody that's new to the barbecue, thinking that this is what they need to make good barbecue. And I've always been against that, since I did the switch of really focusing in on beginner grillers. I hate that. I hate the idea that like you need to buy a bunch of equipment in order to make good food for your family. And we talked about it on our lives before, right? Like where I say, hey, get yourself a used grill, whatever that is. Get yourself some meat, some charcoal, and that's all you need. And just there's a couple of content creators here. Go watch some of their videos on how to cook, and you're good. That's all you need, and it's free, right? Except for the grill and the charcoal and the meat, but the knowledge is free. The knowledge is free, right? The knowledge is free. We don't have to take classes. We don't have to do any of this. We spend more money. I don't have to pay Simon to make a killer salsa. You know what I mean? Like you just go over there, go watch his channel. Lance, I want to know how to hang ribs. Just go watch one of your videos. I don't have to pay you. But if it's freaking helpful, then I'll gladly give you a tip at that video. And sometimes I do that. I'll watch a video. I'm like, this is really freaking good. I'll give them a tip.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Simon. I guess the other question I have about this AI stuff before we get off of it too much, and again, I'm not trying to offend nobody. This is just something that this is a feeling that I have inside, and I would like to express my feelings to see what a group of people, 20 people, almost 20 people, if they have an input on it. So you're going to have people that are benefiting from the AI stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the fact that it's just, and I'll say it looks great. It looks fantastic.
But you're being too kind. Some of this stuff looks horrible. I'll be the first to say it. I know you don't want to say it, but some of this stuff looks terrible. And I could spot, because again, it took me years of learning what good design looks like. I'm not perfect. I'm not a professional by any means, but I spot that stuff right away. I'm like, this. I know what. And some people are even using the same prompt. Right. That's how you know that they're using AI, is because it looks just so similar, And they're like the font choices. It's always usually around the same. All this stuff looks, to me, it looks terrible. Yeah. But used correctly, I think it could look good, because you tell AI to create 3 thumbnail ideas for me. I could take that that design and then make it my own, make it better, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look like AI at all. Yeah. But I get your point. Sorry for interrupting you, Lance.
I sort of touched base on it earlier, but we either got off the topic or we didn't really dig in deeper into it. I'm just curious in everybody's personal opinion, and it's going to be hard to ask somebody that is using AI. And again, I'm not knocking you for doing it, but what I am asking is that, do you think there's a possibility that it's actually hurting the creators that are not doing that? And like I say, we sort of touched on it a little bit earlier, but I don't remember if we really stayed on track with it or not. But I mean, that's how I feel. I honestly feel that
Yeah.
it is hurting, other
Yeah.
people that insist on sticking it, to the old school ways.
Yeah. I think my answer to that is short term, yes. Short term, if Lance, if you're not using AI right now when everybody else is, I think it is hurting you. Short term.
Right.
I think long term, if you keep keeping it real, as Chappelle says, um, you will develop more skills. And when all of this is just kind of, I don't think AI will ever be gone, but I think you develop those skills, it will make you better, and I think it'll make you stand out. Because if 99% of the world is just using ChatGPT to create thumbnails, the moment I see, you develop your own style of thumbnail, I'll look at that. I know exactly that's your video, and I'll click on it, and it'll make you stand out. So right now, it feels like you're not keeping up with everybody else. Go look at your homepage, and there's just almost every thumbnail is AI generated.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it's like we want to kind of match that. We want to be there with them, along with them, or learn how to do it, or feel like we're being left behind. But I think right now, I think it's just time to just learn how to do the stuff that you enjoy doing. Just as you wouldn't hire a professional chef to come to your house and cook you a brisket, you want to do it yourself. Then I would imagine that, if you're a content creator, you want to make some of this stuff yourself too.
Yeah.
And use AI to just kind of guide you.
So you're basically, what you and Todd here are pretty much on the same lines, and I do. My slogan, and I borrowed this from a guy that used to be a swimming pool installer when I was a teenager, and we would work with him on the weekends and stuff. And he had a saying, old fashioned quality with modern technology. And I called the man up when I went into home remodeling, and I got my license to the state of Maryland. I said, Mr. Boyle, I said, do you mind if I borrow that? Because they had already resolved the business and everything. I really think that's good. I love that saying. So you're still old fashioned, but to agree with what Todd and you were saying, maybe you got to start to kind of think about some of the modern technology. But I just can't help feeling if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the same token, you are going to be that much further behind the curve if you don't start turning now.
Yeah. And I'll quote Dave Chappelle for the second time for the night. And you know what he said? Modern problems require modern solutions.
I bet.
Skill anything else? No, we're playing creativity. All right, Bat. Thanks a lot, buddy. It's auxiliary tool, primary component, pure AI drawing. 100%. I've tried to watch those videos. I'm like, I'm not even into them. It's just so cheesy,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it goes back. If you don't like doing this stuff, like you really have to kind of I understand if you're just trying to make money. Like if you're just like, I don't care anything about cooking or making video. I just want the fastest, cheapest way possible to, use AI to just make videos for me. I even understand that. Just do what you got to do,
Right.
But this is going to be a discussion. It's coming up quick, right? Within a year, I bet you're going to see content creators use AI video in their things where it's not me throwing a steak down in a pile of coals. It's like AI generated, and you might or might not tell the difference. And when we're there, I have to go back to what I'm saying, which is I could learn how to prompt AI to create that, guy throws a steak on the coals shot, and then just make that prompt just right so that it looks good. Or I could just grab my camera and film me throwing a steak on the coals. like, what's so hard about that? So it's either there's going to be a line. I predict there's going to be a thin line of content creators who create their stuff and prompters, AI prompters, and there's going to be a very line specifically drawn. If you want cool stuff that AI prompters are doing, then we'll go there. We'll navigate there. That's where the audience is. I don't care about having a real person cook a brisket for me. I'll just watch this AI generated thing to teach me how to do it. And then you're going to have the people that want that human thing, and that's where content creators is. And I think that line is still muddy, but I think that line is going to be clearly drawn within.
Yeah, I think actually I think that boating team, that offshore boating team that I was talking about earlier, I think that's what he's using about with the music. And if I understand it correctly, Ricer, you can actually generate from this AI music, you can actually generate an album that you can give or sell to other people.
Yeah, we've seen this stuff, right? Like
People
we've
have
seen these like intro videos. They're making like funny like music AI generated stuff, and it's
so
to me it's fun. To me it's funny, right? Like if you're creative about that, and you want to just a quick song, to talk. Hey, it's Lance and Simon and Sal hanging out. Make a song about that. That's freaking cool. Like
my
I enjoy.
video on Tuesday nights it was done with AI, but I wrote the lyrics to that song.
Yeah.
So it's fun, right? And that's I'm not I'm not bashing on that because it's interesting.
The music I'm sorry, Sal. The music that this channel put out too, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if you by the end of, I think he said something like, hopefully by his next video, he'll have it all figured out to where he's actually going to sell that music of that album. I was like, damn, man, that was pretty good music. I liked it.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not an AI hater, but I do have opinions about it.
Yeah, that's a good question, Todd. I mean, it's just that comes back down to the videos. I mean, how does YouTube rate that? I mean,
yeah,
how does YouTube putting a under the curve minority, myself, video, comparing it to someone that has all these skills that are putting out this this video that has all these great points and colors and comical pictures, whatever they're doing, quality music. How's that a comparison? And like what Todd was saying, do you think an AI generated song will ever be, on a hot, top 100? I think there's a possibility of it.
Yeah.
But how do you do that? I mean, where do you stop it? I'm not bashing on AI.
Yeah.
I've said it 50 times tonight. I'm just old school, and I just believe earn what you get, but
I want to know when a 100% AI channel becomes the most subscribed channel on YouTube. When they overtake Mr. Beast, that's the number I want to see. Because if
billion or more subscribers, I think.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is the one with the most computer skills wins. Because there's so much more of that AI stuff. I mean, the Chat GPT. I mean, that's probably,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna make this statement, and Chat GPT is gonna send me an email in the morning. But, they're probably, I'm assuming because it's out there, the way that it is, I'm wondering if there is something better than Chat GPT. That the Chat GPT is maybe like the lower entry level for
Yeah.
everybody.
There's many
yeah.
AI you can use.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot out there. And right now, I know AI is available on Google phones and all that stuff. And the current AI on iPhones is not very useful. And I think the next version of it is gonna use Google's technology and it's gonna bring it into the iPhone for the AI stuff. And that's where it gets interesting, right? At that point, it's going to become very difficult to ignore AI once it's there on your phone. You know, like where it knows when to alert you because it knows who your wife is and who your family is, or it'll read the text so it knows what's an emergency and what's not really an emergency. So they will, you'll know that, and it'll give you suggestions when you're walking around a new country. It'll tell you, hey, avoid that street. Definitely want to go in there.
Yeah.
Or this is a cool barbecue spot down the block. It's getting a lot of buzz. So you should definitely go check that out. Like that's where it becomes interesting, right? I don't think anybody's against that. Like your own little personal tour guide on vacation, or when you're sitting at home, it'll just alert you like, Lance, I don't know if you should put that sauce on those hang ribs. You might want to try this other sauce, that mix this stuff in. It's a little healthier. I mean, that's the stuff.
Take me to your leader. Take me to your leader.
Take me to your smoker.
But I mean, I'm already seeing some comments in here already, and so this is sort of kind of proves the point. I mean, I've never heard of these other two. So the one that has the most skills at the end of the day, at the end of the week, whatever, they're going to be the ones that win. And it's just like,
from what I hear, from what I read, each of these companies are spending millions and millions of dollars. They're buying all these data centers. They are pouring in a ton of money. And if you look back at technology, if you go VHS versus beta, if you're old enough, Lance, or the DVD.
Wait.
Or back when they introduced color on TV.
We're going to take it down this road. Let's talk about the mini 8 films and all.
Like back when some of you might remember the DVD versus the what was it? Blu-ray versus HD DVD. Remember that battle? So it's been going on. Technology always fights amongst itself. I'm sure when color TV first came out, there was a lot of like, no, this looks like crap. I like my black and white TV set. Why would I ever buy color? There was a lot of, or when they introduced sound, to film, they're like, what? I don't want to hear the actors' voices. It sounds terrible. Go back to just taking the sound off.
No one ever said
that. No, but that is a true story though, Simon, because some of these actors that were in silent films, they brought in sound and their voices just sounded terrible and people were like, oh crap. And they just kind of vanished. Like they never became as popular as they were silent films because people were vibing with their voice. So they just kind of faded off. And so it is kind of partially made that up, but but it is a true story. But in back to AI thing, I think that's what's going to happen is all these companies are fighting amongst each other. And I really think there's really going to be one that like kind of survives it because there's the amount of money they're throwing at it is ridiculous, And some of these companies aren't making any money, so it's just spend. So we'll see.
So you hear that, Mr. President? Let's stop taxing the seniors' retirement money because we don't have a chance in hell to compete against all these younger people that are going to make all this money. Let us older guys just sort of go about our ways and save what we got. And
Yeah.
enjoy what we do have left.
Yeah.
Because we can't compete, just can't compete.
Yeah.
To a level anyway. To a point you could, but
Yeah.
not someone that's already got a head start, has all that extra skill that are around it all day long, every day of the week. Just like they were talking about Heroes with that grunt, whatever it was, grunt.
And I was around when the internet was like frowned upon. Like you had to go do your research at a library because you couldn't trust what was on the internet. And I remember once the internet became popular and accepted, people were like, you can't go on Wikipedia and do your reports. Like you have to go buy the books, and it's interesting that now we just trust what, you ask AI a question, we automatically trust it. We don't say, no, let's figure this out. Is this true or not? And that's where the dangerous part is, right? When we stop thinking for ourselves, we just trust that it's correct. This is no different than Googling a question, right? Like you don't whatever comes up on your Google, you don't trust that 100%. Do your own research. Same thing with the AI. You can't trust it. Can't trust what it says.
No, because it's going to tell you what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, full confession, because I was wondering what that little star button was on the video. I think Simon and I had this talk last week. I couldn't figure out what it was, and one of the channels, the creators side of the YouTube or whatever it is, and they had this little chat thing where you could start asking it questions, and it was an AI thing.
Yep.
And I tell you what, man, that was the first time I ever experienced something like that, and it was a motivator. It was, it's a motivator, and it blew my mind, and I had to call George up. It was like probably 1 o'clock his morning. It was 4 o'clock in the morning for me. So I'll get in here and I'll just start trying to just cram stuff, because I'm starting to pick up on it, and I want to learn more. I want to sleep on it because tomorrow morning when I come back out here, I'm going to ask myself first questions. Now, what the hell was that I was talking about or trying to learn last night? But it came back to me. He says, because I asked him a question, because we talked on it earlier, how my videos sort of like they're locking out at 50 and 76 views. And I asked it, I said, I didn't care and I still don't care. But the part that I do care is why, why can't a person have more than one habits? I asked her, I said, does, me combining my hobbies into a barbecue channel, has that killed me? Is that what has done my channel in? And it came back to me and it said, not at all. It says, not at all. He says, matter of fact, you got one of these guys here that calls you lover boy. That's 805. This thing dig that out. 805. Where did that dig that out? I said, man, they went in there deep to find something like that. It said lover boy. I was like, oh my God, this thing is just went through my whole library in a matter of seconds,
Yeah.
You start talking about frogs.
No, it's a good thing that it actually is smart enough to figure that out, right? Because otherwise it would have been like Loverboy. He must be some gigolo or something. So I'm gonna suggest he sell his services on YouTube.
Well, it floored me when it said that. I was like, wow, this thing really did dig a little bit.
That's good.
Yeah, he's lying to you. Well, you know, I think there's a good possibility of that NBL. It's like we just said just a few minutes ago. It's going to tell you what what
What you
they
want to hear.
hear. You know.
Yeah. No, but I think that's right. I think we had that discussion before, right, Lance? Where I said, I think before it mattered. I think that was the idea. Like if you had a barbecue channel, you had to post barbecue, otherwise YouTube would just be confused
Yeah.
about what you were. But I think there might be some element on that, but I think right now it's smart enough, right? Where people that aren't subscribed to you will be fed whatever they're interested in.
I had a guy I haven't seen, Smitty. He used to always leave comments on my videos. He sort of kind of hasn't been around all that much. I don't know if he just took a break from YouTube. He just took a break from Sleeper Barbecue. But he came back at me last week before that, and he was saying, you know, what's with the, you know, the video with the plants, I think it was. And I said, you know, I said, to be honest with you, I'm just trying to keep my name out there. I mean, I just figured the barbecue is just dying for me unless I have blonde hair and, you know, huge cleavage.
Or butt cheeks.
Yeah, or butt cheeks. It just doesn't, you know, I just feel like I've got to do other things just to keep myself fresh.
Keep it
in other communities, you know, whatever.
You gotta keep it fun, Lance. I think that's the important thing is whatever gets you to post content, right? Like sometimes you'll be in the mood to, you know, post an aquarium video. Sometimes you'll be in the mood to post a barbecue video, but at least we got a video from Lance this week versus no videos because you're not into cooking this week, you know, or making a video about it.
Right.
You were into these different things. And I think you turning it into more of a kind of a lifestyle channel where it's not about come watch Lance cook. It's more about like see what Lance is up to right now, whatever, you know, one of your hobbies. And I think there should be an audience for that. You know, there people are interested. And then people like me, like if say that I don't care about the aquarium, I don't care about these other things. I just want to see trains. You know what I mean? I don't care. Lance, I could care less about your cooking. I just want to see them trains. And I think YouTube is smart enough so that when you do post a cooking video, it just won't show up on my feed. And when you post a, you know, train video, it'll know that that's what I'm into, and it'll show up.
Well, that sort of kind of answers the question that I have. What I was sort of going to ask going to next is that when we were talking about, you know, the old school creator versus the new school, the AI creators. Do you think that YouTube should have two different categories? I mean, should one compete with the other one? Or, you know, I mean, I personally feel like, you know, it's like black and white and color TV.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I just think that, you know, if they're going to have both formats out there, then there should be two different categories.
Yeah, like maybe like just how they split up shorts and long form. You know, it's all in. It took them a while though to really figure that out, to just keep it separate. Now there's options to turn off shorts on your account, which I turn that immediately on because I don't watch so much shorts. So now no shorts appear on my feed. You know, because I'm not into that. Yeah, and that's just a new thing that they did. So so I would say yes, they should split it off. You know,
I think there should be a different category for it because I mean it's all around different.
Yeah, I think the hard part is going to be what should go in each section, right? Like what if I just get lazy one day and tell AI to write the description? Where would you put me in there? You know, or say somebody made the entire video themselves, cooked and everything, but then the thumbnail they generated ChatGPT, where would that go? You know, I think that's where it gets a little harder to really know or draw the line. You know, but I agree. If a video is 100% AI, it's obvious. Then yeah, swing it off over to its own section.
I mean, when you're uploading a video, it's asking that question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was AI used to, you know, to make anything or generate anything within this video? So why are they asking that question?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it already, you know, is it something in the making? Are they just getting, you know, trying to, you know, get their numbers put together to find out what percentage of people that are actually using some sort of it, or all, or, you know, or none, you know? But I'm just curious why they're asking that question if there isn't two categories for it already.
Yeah, don't really know. I think I think that's my feedback on. Let me see if I could unplug that again.
All those yellow shorts. What are you watching that is AI, Lance? You know, I'll just every once in a while when there's something that's obvious to me, again, a novice, but obvious to me that that it's AI. You know, I'd be lying if I say it hasn't, you know, tweaked my interest. But you know, once I get into it, I'm just not into it. You know, once I start watching it, I should say, I'm just not, you know, not really into it. Yeah, mostly cooking, Ricer, mostly cooking type stuff.
Yeah. It seems like it's. I always thought that the way that videos were gonna go, or like YouTube was, it's all gonna be a prompt. You know, it's just really gonna be somebody that wants to learn how to brisket would say, "How do I smoke a brisket on the Weber kettle?" And it'll similar to the Google results now, where the first thing is up there is like an AI response. I really think that the first response to a YouTube video search would be a completely age-rated video, just the steps how to do this. People could watch that. I really think that's where they're heading.
I think Timmy hit something right on the head because I have noticed that before. Where'd it go? Right here. Yeah, maybe. Yes. So I think maybe that's what that thing is. I have noticed that where there's like a little AI down in the bottom right hand corner, you know, of the content or the description type thing. So maybe that is exactly why they're asking that question. I don't know. But yes, Rice, there are a lot of memes. There's a lot of that stuff that's going on. You know, thumbnails, like I said earlier, I mean, the thumbnails just, some of them just blow me away. I mean, it's like, God, the color, the quality, you know. But then you look at it, it's like, geez, what happened to it?
Mm-hmm. No, I see that a lot now, which is, again, it's no different, right, than seeing the burger on the menu, and you taking out your burger, and like there's a movie, I forget what it was called, but it does just that. The guy's super pissed. Does anyone know what that movie was? But I remember a guy holding up the burger to the guy that sold him that burger, and he's like, "Look at this burger, now look at that photo. Does this look like anything like that burger?" And he got super mad.
Right.
But it's the exact same thing, right? I know if I were to start, if you know, if I were a beginner griller, I just got a kettle and I looked that stuff up, and then I was like, oh man, that brisket looks really good, and I would click on it, and then their brisket looks nothing like that. I would be like, okay, this is something's not right about it, you know. So, but it's all going to come down to the person teaching you. You know, like if it's it's an amazing video. Otherwise, I'd be willing to forgive that. You know, because especially if I learn something out of it, I'm gonna ignore it.
So, what do you say we sort of kind of change the subject? I wanted to, that was something that I really wanted to beat on because it's just been something that's been run around. And when you get, your sixth video where you can't break 50 views, it's just like, God, man, so you got to come to an end. But I just really want to have a good topic, and I really feel like we did have a really good topic on it. Sorry if we lost some people to it, but I think we had a good topic on the AI stuff. But Guggen had a question way back when, but he was asking about the barbecue. So for the 4th of July, anybody got any big cooking plans for the 4th of July, Sal? Or you're probably going to use your custom little metal ring to make a snake method.
Pretty much the video.
No plans, but it's probably going to work out like Father's Day, where no one knew what was going to happen on Father's Day, and I'm like, I'll cook burgers and hot dogs. And they're like, okay, yeah, do that. And I think that's how 4th of July is going to be, where no one is going to know what to do for 4th of July and be like, I'll cook some ribs. Be like, yeah, let's do that. Ribs is kind of my go-to on 4th of July. I love ribs. So how I'm going to cook them, I've been on this like the direct grill. I've been on this like trip with. I just love just grilling ribs. Like I don't like doing them low and slow anymore for whatever reason. They're not as tender, but they're just that flavor. That's something just awesome about just cooking them directly over the fire. That I've been really digging. So it takes maybe 90 minutes to do it.
I don't have Todd Saul's email. Can you send him the link? He wants to ask Sal a question. It was too much for typing. He wants to know if he can join the panel. I don't have a problem with it.
Hold on, let me get the link.
But I don't have his email.
I'll give him a minute.
I saw that, Timmy, where CV had some cooks. Can't put the link in the chat. I prefer not to.
You're going to get weirdos jumping on.
I've seen that happen a couple of times where I just soon avoid it.
The naked freaks will try to join the chat. Flash us.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you doing, Lance, for 4th of July?
You know what I really want to do? I'm going back to PA to up in my put back to my sister and brother-in-law's place in the mountains of PA, and I really want to before I go, I want to do a hold on, Simon. I can't. It won't let me copy. This is my live, but I can't copy any damn thing.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna send him an email.
You got it. But I want to do a grind of the jalapeno bacon and beef fresh hamburger grind with the jalapeno bacon ground into the burger meat, the beef meat. I want to do that to make some burgers for the 4th. I just think that they'll really take off well. I know that they do well around here, but I like to do that burger for a number of people and just get honest feedback from it. Instead of just my wife that she knows if she doesn't agree with me that I won't talk to her for the rest of the night.
Yeah, burgers are good though.
All right, link sent.
Thank you,
Especially when you grind your own meat. There's just something amazing about that.
Yeah, Todd, I tried. I don't know if you're familiar with StreamYard. That's one of those stupid things. I'm the host of this video. I created this live, but I cannot copy links in the chat. When I go to
YouTube open over here.
I keep forgetting about that, another tab, but When I go to do it, it disappears. But
Or when you, I thought you were gonna say when you go and do it, you end the live by mistake.
well, that will happen too from time to time. I'm drinking on the 5th, on the 4th.
Drinking the 5th on the 4th.
Jeez.
Drinking a 5th.
So I'm thinking doing chicken wings and some shrimp skewers.
Sure. I got a cook that I've been beating in my head, and I didn't know how I wanted to, what I wanted to incorporate into it. I've got the first part of it. I made a pork loin, and I pounded it out to where I could make like a decent sized patty with it, and I created these like little tulip looking things with an onion ring around the bottom that holds everything together. And I did a filling in it, and they were just so good. But I want to do a roll up version of that. And again, I'm back on my kick of jalapeno bacon. I love jalapeno bacon, but I want to put a filling inside of that pork loin, and then roll it up, with the jalapeno bacon. But I watched AB, and he did something that was called dirty cabbage or something. And that was that's the kind of cooks I like. Something's off the wall. I mean, he's got andouille sausage, fried cabbage, and a number of other things, and he tops it off with a cornbread batter. And he bakes it. I'm like, oh my God. So I think what I want to do with that, that cabbage that I want to be able to roll up, or that pork that I want to be able to roll up, I would like to incorporate some cabbage inside of that, but it would have to be, something that would be pre-cooked, I'm thinking, and put inside the pork. But I haven't decided what I want to mix into it yet. So I don't know if that's going to end up being a 4th of July thing. Right now, I'm struggling to find jalapeno bacon. And before, I could go to any store in the area here and find it, and now I can't find it nowhere.
What about putting jalapeno and bacon in it?
Oh, and so, well, I thought about it. So this is where my mind goes, Sal. I mean, so I'm thinking, I like to think sweet and spicy. Todd, I have not seen in there yet, Todd, but I like to think sweet and spicy. So I'm thinking, okay, the outside of this pork loin is going to be hot. It's going to have, maybe some seasoning. It's going to have jalapeno bacon. There's going to be, some type of seasoning on it. But on the inside, I was thinking of a sweet element. I'm thinking blueberries and cream cheese.
Yeah.
So, and that's where my mind went with that, and I was like, man. But I don't know. And anybody who wants to do it, you're free to do it. That's just me talking out loud. There'll be two of us. Maybe my video can feed off your video, and maybe I can get more views off of it. But that's just where
I need to do a stuffed pork loin too on my channel, because it just opens up so many creative things.
Link into the private chat over here.
Yes.
And I think I gave him the wrong link.
No, but I get you, Lance. Yeah, the spicy and sweet element is really good. Any of those, right? Like the salt and sweet and spicy and sweet. They all good. They all just pair up really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love a sweet and spicy.
Yeah.
I love a salty sweet too. I enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you Mux Lance. You sound like you're on the.
What are you doing, Simon? You're just wings? Just gonna grill them?
Yeah, grilled wings and what do you call it? Shrimp.
Nice.
At least that's the plan.
Yeah.
Oh,
The I've been trying to get a hold of some like the whole wings. You know, I always just
yeah.
get the party style. They're all cut up because I want to do a skewered, like a whole wing skewered. There's I've just been getting into like the street food elements, and I saw the whole wing being skewered up, you know, and just like a nice little glaze and just grilled directly over the fire, and it's pretty awesome. So you could just kind of eat a wing with the stick. So that'll be interesting if I could pull that off. But I can't find them anywhere. Can't find the whole wings. I wish there was like, I wish Costco was consistently they just have them there, because then I would probably pick them up more often.
Kale.
So it's the same link that I sent Todd, but I don't know why it's not working for him.
Not working again?
So I just sent it, but I just noticed that it's the same link that I sent him the first time. So I don't know. It's on his end.
That sounds good, Mama O.
Okay,
I like-
Todd. Yeah, I think it's to the one on your channel. Sorry.
That's my kind of eating. I enjoy that. All right, Timmy. Timmy giving these instructions where more computer skills are needed. Somebody has not been paying attention during a live. Email I publish for the channel is not the same as my channel registration email. They caused issues.
All right, hold on.
Honestly, it's 259 making burgers and hot dogs, apple pie for desserts. America. There you go.
The other thing that I wanted to ask that's kind of food related is, have you guys checked out the Messenger app on YouTube? They released that.
Not yet.
So I was like, I wasn't sure how that worked. If I needed to start up a conversation and talk to people, or if you could just message me. I didn't know how any of that worked.
Yeah, I think I saw some. I haven't done anything with it or anything.
Hopefully it'll allow me to send Joe some nude photos.
So,
Be honest, Sal, he's probably already got them.
Yeah. Well, I should have been clear. Send him more.
but there's no Facebook for it.
Did that work for him, Simon? Do you know? It was only 2 minutes ago, 1 minute ago.
No email yet.
See nobody in the basement. But I was going to do that. The jalapeno ground into the burgers. If y'all haven't tried that, I'm telling you, man, that bacon, when that fat renders down, it keeps those burgers so. Here we go, Joe. So moist and juicy. It's really good. I really love it. I think it's absolutely great. But I'm also going to do something called
what ratio do you go with that, Lance? I've been trying to grind some bacon into
nothing less than 2 pounds to 5 pounds, but
so that's almost like a 50, like maybe like a 40%,
40 60. And personally, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to go 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think actually the first time I did do it was 3 to 5, but
and are you usually cooking the burgers directly over the fire? Doesn't flame up on you too much, or do you cook them in direct first, or how do you, or on a skillet?
I either put them on a griddle or I'm on the Weber, offset from the direct heat. I may throw them onto the heat
At the end.
But But no, I haven't really had that issue. And usually, and I don't know if that has something to do with it, and it shouldn't, I wouldn't think, but 95% of the time they come out of the freezer. Because when I make it, there's just no way. I mean, like I think I have 2 1-pound packages left, and probably I don't know, 4 smash ball burgers and probably 6 patties left. But I went in with that one with only 1 pound of the jalapeno bacon because that's all I had left, and I thought it really needed more of it in there.
Yeah. You know what would be really good? I'm just thinking about, because when you said bacon, I thought of like, caramelized onions.
Yeah.
So maybe you say you have the patties formed already, right? Because I was thinking it's doing like a Juicy Lucy, like putting some meat down and then putting some cheese and then putting more meat over it and then kind of seal it up and then cook them and then get some caramelized onions on top. So you get that bacon, the sweetness, that cheesy inside. I think it would be really good.
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to, grilling a little bit of onions on the side, by no means. Only because I do, some people don't like onions,
Yeah.
I can't blame them. I'm sitting here saying I don't like AI, so I'd be a hypocrite, wouldn't I? But that's and the other was the rattlesnake tails. That's basically a hot dog. It's a super hot, spicy hot dog, and the way you cut it, it has movement to it.
Yeah.
So I want to try those because I'll be up, cooking with some other people.
Oh, that'd be good though. Everybody cooks a little bit, little side
My
dishes
sister,
there.
my sister, she'll be, first part of this week, starting tomorrow, if not already, to be honest with you. She'll be making all these side dishes to take up there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how 4th of July goes.
My brother-in-law put a huge firework display on.
Mm-hmm.
But
Have you ever seen, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, where I filmed my neighborhood and it was being lit up from all different directions because here in LA it's super illegal to do fireworks, but no one cares. There's just like a big fireworks show. Every
Georgia,
neighborhood.
I remember 805 saying that a few years back. He was saying something about they would actually drone search you. Fly
Yeah,
drones.
they started getting smart about it, but never seems to stop anybody. Like all the neighbors they're just all, from like maybe around this time, like 5:30ish, all the way till like 11 or midnight. They're just firing them off nonstop.
There he is.
Every single angle.
Here we go. We got Mr. Todd Saw. How you doing,
I
Todd?
figured it out.
Okay.
What's up, Todd?
Here's what happened, just to explain right quick. Recently, just a few days ago, I had done some rearranging with my PC, and I had taken the USB where my webcam was plugged in. I switched it from a front port to a back port. And apparently my computer didn't like that. So I just switched that back to how it used to be and how it has always worked. And I still had to reboot my computer, but now we're good.
Yeah.
And now after all of that, this is going to seem like a really silly and stupid question. It was going to be a really easy, straightforward thing,
And at that point, I'm sorry, your time is up. We're right now.
These things happen. So, right quick, let me make this very brief. I always intended for this to be brief. Isn't that funny? So, when I saw Sal, S.J. Cooks, and got in the conversation with everything, and just how I react to that, something's interesting, a person is interesting, I want to go check out their channel. And I'd ask, can somebody post a link? And nobody did. probably thinking somebody else will, right? That happens. But I found it by searching, and I saw in the description, he talks about what he does, and part of that is Mexican food, right? So here's my question. What I've been kind of has been going through my mind, or I've been working on lately for the last few years. I grew up in South Texas, and I love Tex-Mex food. I love Mexican food too, and they are two very distinctly different things in some way. So enchiladas here in South Texas, Central Texas, there are two ways you can get enchiladas: with enchilada sauce or chili gravy. And I love chili gravy. That's the way to go. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? So enchilada sauce is really easy to make. I can do that. You can buy it in a can at the grocery store, and it's not great, but it's okay. Chili gravy, like they have at the best Tex-Mex restaurants in South and Central Texas, is like a dream come true. It's so freaking awesome, done right. And I've tried to duplicate that. So one of the first things to do at SJ Cooks is I type in enchiladas, and I find a video that includes the term enchilada sauce. When I search for enchilada chili gravy, enchilada, nothing. So here's my question and my request. I have both. Do you understand the distinction between enchilada sauce and chili gravy on enchiladas? And would you be willing to attempt to make Tex-Mex chili gravy for enchiladas and teach me how? Because I've tried and I've searched YouTube, and nobody on YouTube can do it like the cafe right down the street from my house. I can tell you that right now because I've done it. So that's it. That was my question. Sorry. I'm done.
It's a
You
good
can kick
question. It's a good question. I am curious because I don't know Tex-Mex, but I do know that northern Mexico is very similar. Simon could chime in since he lives in Texas, but I think a lot of the flavors that North Mexico has, it's a little of that, right? But I guess the first question is, what is a chili gravy? Like, what is it? Is it just more? Is it more complicated, like a more complicated sauce with a lot of chiles, or is there something? Is there something like, you know?
This is a catch-22. I wish I could answer that question.
Well,
So I asked the guy that makes the best that I know, and he said, "Oh, it takes hours. We start very early in the morning to get it ready by noon."
Yeah. So what I'm saying, because I have a mole sauce recipe on my channel, and I actually described it as I said, just think of this as Mexican gravy, because the amount of ingredients in there is there's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm very familiar with mole. Simon, what is your take on chili gravy on enchiladas? What is it?
It's like a chili, but it's watered down chili. That's how my mother's made it. She used to make it. So it was a stupid dog. So it was the enchilada sauce was done with ground beef, and it was more like a chili than anything else.
Yeah. Well, it's been very elusive to me, and it looks like it's going to continue to be elusive. So I wanted to ask the question if you knew about chili gravy on Tex-Mex enchiladas.
Yeah.
Joe's still in the chat. He's just listening. He's staying out of the conversation because he really don't have maybe input on it or not. But
Yeah,
it's curious to see what he would have to say.
It's the only thing I could come up with. It's a more sophisticated enchilada sauce, because the mole that I made is very, there's a lot of spices in there and different types of chiles, and you can make it sweet. So I mean, if you even describe the profile, or what does it taste like, that would kind of guide me into what.
Here's what I'll do. One of the things I've done on my channel in the past is make little Taco Tuesday shorts.
Mhm.
which Lance doesn't like short, so he probably won't watch it. So I will go to a place that has great chili gravy on the enchiladas,
Mhm.
and I will show it.
Yeah.
And I will ask the guy, how do you make that? Tell me about it. I'll see. That's the best I can do right now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry for all the trouble and for holding things
Not
up
at all,
here.
Todd. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
My guy is dirt racing tonight. You know, I love the World of Outlaws, super late model dirt racing. And my guy from Texas, Tyler Erb from New Waverly, Texas, is racing tonight. So I'm going to go watch that.
All right,
So
Todd.
take care. Be safe. I'm out.
Yeah,
Kick-
we're
kick-
about to end it anyway. All right, Todd.
Kick my butt out of here.
It's still. I took him off stage, but he's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just interested, because I know there's certain dishes and, they call it Tex-Mex. That's just, I probably know what he's talking about, but it's very,
Different terminology.
different
It's
terminology.
enchilada sauce, the red enchilada sauce with
Because I mean, enchilada sauce itself, there's so many variations of it, right? There's just the ones that are just very chili heavy. There's some that are just, they have deeper flavor. There's, darker in color, it's just sweeter. It's just so many, hundreds of mole recipes that exist, and enchilada sauce is a mole technically,
yeah.
but
Like
it's just
when my mom made it, it was kind of like chili. If you get a can of chili and you use that for the enchilada, it will water it down a little.
yeah, and just the term "great," so there's has to be some sort of like a roux,
Kind of like a carne guisada. I don't know if you had carne guisada with that gravy.
mhm,
I don't know if that's more of a Tex-Mex thing or not.
yeah,
But somebody who might know might be Al Lunacy. He might be.
yeah, because he's in southern
He's
Texas,
down there close to Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a good one.
I think really the key is going to look what the types of sauces northern Mexico does, and I think there should be a name. Once we find out that name, where it's widely used, then it might be easier to find her.
Yeah, I looked up Tex-Mex enchiladas,
Mhm.
and I have a picture here that says Tex-Mex enchiladas and chili gravy.
Yeah,
You said you found a picture of it?
Yeah. Yep. Hold on. Let me turn off my background here. Where's the camera? All right, there it goes.
That looks good.
It's very messy. But yeah, it's like chili and cheese.
mm.
I'm never gonna upload it to StreamYard, but I get a better picture.
All right.
Yeah.
You say you are?
Yeah.
Or share it?
Yeah, let me just have it to my phone.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same recipe you're looking at. And there's very flour heavy. There's so maybe that's what it is.
There it is.
Yeah, looks good.
Now
And
the
then
ones
cook-
that my mom did had more of that gravy over it and just sprinkled cheese on it.
Yeah.
That's really like loaded with cheese.
Yeah, and then cooking down the sauce with meat, that probably has a lot to do with it too, I think.
Yeah.
Because normally enchilada sauce, you give it broth, you give it a little bit of chicken broth, whatever, but it's never full on like let's cook
Yeah,
let's cook
I
some
mean-
beef in there with the sauce, and that to me sounds delicious already. Like I gotta try that. It's just making the enchilada sauce and then cutting up some meat in there and letting it mostly
I'm gonna
probably
like,
fat.
I'm gonna try to recreate that dish my mom made.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
I
we
gotta let
almost just about made it 2 hours. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it or not. But Simon just cut out. Oh. So I'm going to go ahead. Go ahead, Simon.
I have to let Taco out.
Oh. All right, we'll go ahead and cut it off here. We're going to hit 2 hours. And again, thank you for the chat. Sal, thanks for reaching out. Again, man, congrats on that damn video, man. That's fantastic.
Appreciate you.
20,000.
We didn't even talk about my hitting those 10,000. The last time I was on here, I was like on the verge of getting those. That was a huge deal too. So
Yeah.
good stuff is happening. I'm proud of what I've been doing. And
Yeah.
because it's been rough. It's been a rough 6 years making content.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming up, and great topic, man. We had a great conversation. I love this kind of stuff, man. We have you too, Ophelia. I like the conversations when you get other people's inputs, because it's not always about what I think, because I mean that's just me growing up. I've always second guessed myself. So getting a second opinion, to me, I really enjoy that, and we had a great topic. Hope to see you again soon, Sal. We are going to try and do this, a little bit more. Russ has decided that he's just going to, take a break from, the live thing, and that's fine. He has its, he's enjoying his life. He's enjoying his other channel, and making a little bit of side money on, his air conditioning work, automotive air conditioning work, which I think is great. And he decided, a year ago or more that, YouTube just wasn't going to be for him anymore, as far as the barbecue end of it. Then for him to, spend his time on a barbecue, kind of barbecue live every weekend for months. I really appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Everybody, we will see you on Tuesday. Hopefully that works. Last Tuesday, I had to have a CAT scan done at 7 a.m., actually 6:45 a.m. So I wasn't about to stay up, on a late live Tuesday. So, but we will see you on Tuesday with Simon. We've got Des, if she's feeling, got her feet back underneath of her where she's feeling better. She should possibly go live on Friday. And as always, you got Eddie and Gary, 2 different lives on Saturday night. So we will see you there. Sal, anytime, I'll continue to send you the links. I enjoy our conversations. So, it's just not that I'm trying to force you into it or anything like that. It's just that, I don't know when you have spare time, if it's something that you want to do or not. So I just want to include you should you want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Try more reviews or interviews, rather, not reviews, but interviews. And just sort of change things up a little bit. Like I was telling George, I tried to get George to come back for one night. I said, man, it's 4 years of this stuff, and I'm getting tired of it, Yeah. I enjoy what I'm doing, but I'm getting tired of the same no topic, run by the seat of your pants type thing. So, it's nice when you can have something to talk about. And I'm sorry we didn't spend more time on your 28,000 views for your snake method.
I think it was plenty.
All right. Sal, take care of yourself, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Lance. Thank you, chat.
Chat, when we see you again, take care. Good night, everybody.